Welcome back to the daily discussion. So today I want to do a real quick talk about posture. It's come up in a couple different ways for me lately, and it kind of reminded me of a story from a woodworking class I took years ago, where the instructor, the master woodworker, he does a lot of time-based restorations where the time period that he's doing restorations for is in time frames where it didn't have power tools. So he spends a lot of time doing things in hand tools, and because of that, when he brings somebody on who's new, he spends months getting their tool set up specifically to their body mechanics so that they can use them time and time again over and over every day and not get tired and worn down and have to take days off. Now, that all comes down to posture and using the mechanics of that individual to leverage longer term work in a positive way. And the reason this comes up for me is because when you work on your posture, it adds less fatigue to your joints. It starts getting, you can do things longer, you can walk longer, you can do better and stronger workouts. You can hold yourself more in a way that's adds confidence subconsciously, because when you hold yourself in proper posture, you feel more confident whether you realize it or not. But again, the reason this came up for me is because I actually learned something new on Sunday from my physical therapist as we're gaining momentum in that, and we're adding some strength training stuff on. We were going over some of the movements in it, and I was basically adding too much weight too fast. And he said that's not necessarily a bad thing, that I feel like my muscles can handle it. He's like, but what we want to do is notice that, yeah, your muscles be able to can handle it because they gain strength and stability faster. But the problem is your ligaments don't do it at the same rate. So if you spend a little bit more time at the lower weight and just a couple more weeks and let your ligaments catch up to your muscles, then you'll be able to do more weight more correctly in the long run. He used a better term than that, but that's what I had in my head. So anyway, so what it comes down to is if you don't let your ligaments catch up to your muscles, then you start pulling yourself out of proper posture, and then you stop being able to do the movements properly, which then in the long run turns into more joint pain, fatigue faster, all those different things. So where are you doing kind of a similar thing? Not necessarily just with strength training, but in anything where you're rushing through things, and maybe one part is okay for that rush or that extended period or the quickness of it, but there's another aspect that you're just completely misaligned with, that once they catch up and there's too much of a difference from each other, it just makes things implode. And so I'm just curious, is there anything for you, or is that something that you knew about with the strength training even?